Are you frustrated by the lack of engagement that you're getting on your Instagram content? Do you feel like you're throwing content out into the world, never to hear anything in return? Then this video is for you. Keep on watching because I'm going to tell you exactly why your followers aren't engaging with your stuff. Hey, I'm Katie, and here on my channel, I love to share my best tips and advice about social media strategy and content creation. In addition to being a YouTuber, I also run a small creative agency that serves content creators who have a vision and a message to share, but not the tech know-how to execute on it. We edit podcasts, edit YouTube videos, and develop branding strategy for YouTube and Instagram content. If you want to learn more about what I do, you can go to katiesteckly.com, but also make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I upload videos twice a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a single one. Here is my question for you to ponder and to consider. How do you engage on Instagram? I'm talking about what is your experience as a consumer of content on Instagram. If I were to guess, here's probably what an average day in your life looks like. You think, I wonder what time it is, so you pick up your phone to check the time, and before you know it, you're scrolling through Instagram passively, probably not even stopping to double tap a photo and definitely not leaving any comments. Eventually, you finally shut off your phone and go back to what you're doing, and you're left thinking, hey, I still don't know what time it is, and the cycle starts again. Can you relate? Give this video a thumbs up if you can relate to that because I feel like we've all been there sometimes. Instagram as an app is constructed, their entire UI is designed around making us passive scrollers. This is ideal to them because the longer time we get lost in the scroll hole of Instagram, the more time they have to show us ads and therefore the more money they make. That is just their business structure as a company. So as a creator, you need to work hard to break through that zombie scroll to actually get your followers to engage with what you're doing. And the first place to start with that is to think about yourself as a user of Instagram and what makes you stop that scroll to leave a comment or to like a photo. When I think about the ways that I've engaged on Instagram and why, and I think about the ways that I'm able to get my followers to engage with what I'm doing, it all comes down to one simple thing, which is surprisingly hard to execute on, and that is just asking them to engage. I know it sounds so basic and you're like, why am I watching an entire video just about asking people to engage? But it's very important that you go about it in the right ways. You use proper strategies that feel authentic and real, that encourage engagement, and most importantly, that you go out and then you do that yourself. You actually go and engage with people. So I'm going to share with you some step-by-step strategies to actually make this happen and why it works. Let's be honest with ourselves. I know that I hardly ever engage with content that I come across in my feed. And if I think about why, that can bring me the answer of how to get people to engage with my content. Often, even if I do come across something that I'm particularly struck by, it makes me pause that zombie scrolling motion, I still might not comment or send a DM or like a photo because I'm left feeling like, but do they actually want me to? I know it sounds weird, right? Because we know that everybody wants comments and likes on their Instagram content, but sometimes when you're like a fan of a creator, like I know there's tons of YouTubers that I follow on Instagram that I think are super cool and like I'd love to be friends with them and stuff, but I don't really want to like lose my cool and make it seem like I'm obsessed with them. And so I won't leave comments because I'm like, maybe they'll think it's weird if I comment, or I won't reply to their stories because I'm like, well, they want other people to reply, not me. And what this comes down to is the fact that they are not explicitly inviting me to engage with their content. And so I don't, because I don't want to come across as like a fangirl. I want to be chill and cool, because I obviously am. So I'm not going to engage with content that hasn't specifically invited me to engage. When I think about the places where I do engage, somebody like Jenna Kutcher, who I know I talk about all the time because she is awesome and very successful, I'm way more likely to comment on her photos because she specifically asks people to comment. It's all about extending that invitation so that your followers know, yeah, I do want you to comment. I do want to know what you have to say. And then reminding them to actually do that so that they take a second and pause from their scrolling and leave a comment and engage with your stuff. So I hope by now I've convinced you that it's important to extend that invitation because I'm sure we've all been there feeling like, oh, like, do they really want me to comment? Like, should I or shouldn't I? At the end of the day, yeah, they probably do, but they just haven't done a very good job of inviting you to do so. So if you want to make sure that you avoid that with your own followers, here are some strategies that you can take to make sure that your followers never feel intimidated to leave you a comment and always feel like you are open and ready to hear what they have to say. So let's talk about feed posts. First of all, if you want to generate more likes, it is super easy to just say, double tap this pic if you can relate, or leave me a like if this story sounds familiar to you. Give people a reason to like the photo so that they know that they're communicating something to you by liking it. Maybe I'm scrolling and I start reading the caption because something about it catches my eye, but I forget to like the photo until Jenna says, double tap if you can relate, girl. And I'm like, yes, I can. So I leave a like. It's all about reminding people to do that because they're willing to support you if they remember that you want that and they can do that for you. Next up, it is so easy to leave every caption with a call to action. You never want to end it in a place where people feel like they don't have anything to say back. So take something from what you've said and figure out what you want back from people. A recent post of mine that did really well was reintroducing myself because I gained some followers and I was like, you know what, guys, I'm like really proud of what I do with my business, but I feel like I never talk about it. So I made a post discussing how I edit podcasts, I edit YouTube videos for other creators and what that looks like. And then I ended the post by saying, and I'd love to hear about you. What do you do? Like, how do you introduce yourself at parties? That's a really great way to get people talking because people love to talk about themselves. And it was also a really great chance for me to get to know my followers and what kind of stuff they do and how I can better serve them. So make it a rule that you end every caption with a call to action and make it something that people actually want to answer. Think about what you would respond to if you saw this in a caption and then target that to make sure that it's going to be engaging. That's the best test that you have is think about yourself as a user. Would you care enough to actually respond? And if the answer is yes, then it's probably a good call to action. Now let's talk about stories. This is a really awesome way to generate engagement. I've talked before about why DMs are so important, but if you want to check out that video, I will link it up here. It's really important to use direct messages to your advantage when it comes to engagement, and stories is a great way to start that. It's as simple as being like, hey guys, happy Monday. Today I'm working on this. I'd love to hear how your day is going. Let me know, respond, and like point to the little reply box. Sometimes I even draw an arrow with like the pencil tool. Do whatever you can to direct people's attention to that, and they are way more likely to actually send you something back. I can't tell you the number of times I've wanted to respond to another creator's story, but felt like, she doesn't want to hear from me. She's going to think it's weird if I respond. Guess what? I never think it's weird if you respond. I'm going to put that out there right now. If you have ever felt like you shouldn't respond to my story because I don't want to hear it, it's not true. I always want to hear what you guys have to say. And I think it's so unfortunate because other creators probably feel the same way. They're just not communicating it. So make sure that you are communicating it and that your followers know that you do want to hear from them. Another really basic way that can generate so many DM replies is literally by saying, send me a thumbs up or a thumbs down emoji. How's your day going? They literally don't have to type any words, and you're getting a bit of that back and forth going. After someone's done that, they're way more likely to respond with even more meaningful content in the future. That's a really good way to keep your DM inbox active and to get new people to reach out to you, which is awesome. These are all strategies that you can use, and I'm sure that you could come up with more creative ways to encourage engagement from your followers. But at the end of the day, the main thing is you need to let your followers know that you do care about what they think, you do want to hear from them, and that you're always open to their comments and their DMs. Because if you make it seem at all like you're not interested, there's a huge number of people that will never reach out to you because they don't want to be rude. That's human nature, right? We don't just eavesdrop on a conversation we hear in public and jump in to give our 2 cents. I mean, there are some people that do that, and it's awkward. So when we carry that over to Instagram, we feel the same way. We don't want to just dive in and start talking to somebody that we're not sure wants to be our friend or seems too cool for us or whatever. It's funny how these like notions from high school carry over into the world of social media. So in order to totally expel those feelings in your followers and make sure that they know you're always welcome to feedback, just tell them and encourage them and ask them to engage with you. And I promise you, if you start using these strategies on a more regular basis, you are going to see more engagement because people know that you are open to it. If you liked this video and found it helpful, then I bet that you would really enjoy my completely free training, which is called Forget Followers, Encourage Engagement. It's a 20-minute long mini workshop all about how you need to forget about your follower count and instead focus on growing your engagement with some really practical and straightforward strategies that you can act on today to grow your engagement this week. If you want to sign up and go ahead and watch that, it's going to be linked up here. You can also get it at the link in the description below. It's completely free, no pitches at the end. I just want to give you value and give you information, so go ahead and check that out. If you're planning to watch it, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, and any feedback that you have about that 20-minute training, hit me up on Instagram because I want to know if you found it helpful. As always, I've got lots of content here on my YouTube channel as well, so if you want to check out this video that I made about Instagram, I'm sure that you would like that one too. But before you go, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. I try to upload twice a week, and I wouldn't want you to miss a single one. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I hope that you are having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!